Well, thank you for staying with us and welcome back to People's Imbizo, brought to you by ANN7. If you have just joined us, you haven't missed it all. We're coming to you from Harrismith in Intabazwe. We're talking about issues to do with criminality and the issue of vigilantism, which is really, it involves premeditation, planning, organization by community members to hunt down what they deem is a suspect of a crime that has been committed in the community, and perhaps they feel that the official crime fighters are not doing enough to bring these people to justice, so they take the law into their own hands. Now, I have a panel that I'm discussing with. Just very quickly, Mr. Mavo, so I cut you off in the first half. You had a point that you wanted to raise. I'll allow you to finish that point, then we'll get into other issues.
I'll be quickly order. Eriki bua ka Sesotho mohlomong brigadier tlo khona hore an catch up ke ska bua ka seZulu sa ka se deep o na le ntlha e buleng ke ntate man batla o correct ya hore batho ba na maponisa wa na rwa tsibi kwa kae wa in South Africa mona everyone na le tukelo ra o sebetsa kae ka kapa kae mo sebetseng re na le bana ba bo rona mona Harrismith ba sebetsa ka ntle o bo Durban bo Gauteng. What will happen if that community of Gauteng say we don't need people, residents from Intabazwe, from Harrismith? There's a role ya tribalism, so everyone's got the right to asebetse mo tlamile asebetse teng. If a community abuti case ka di 7 irikiriki di 8 of December, how long it takes, how long it takes to that case to be struck out of the roll? Maybe saying through Bupaki, Harikon, the mistake that the police are doing, they're not going back to the victim to tell the victim your case. I start to appeal, Harikon gather information. Badula 2 years, 3 years more to appeal. I know that it's their responsibility. They've got the resource to go back to the victim and say, case here how I money on the road.
And I think the community will appreciate and understand. I mean, if you really see a police officer that's investigating your case, come back to you in a month's time and say, Mama, this is what you wanted from us, this is what's happening, even if they haven't found it. Just having that comfort to know that someone cares enough, and I think that is part of policing. You're dealing with people, you're dealing with human beings and emotions. We also have another community leader that has joined us now. Perhaps they can help us understand what structures they have in the community as they do their own policing. Welcome to the conversation, Mr. Neo Mutang, you're a community leader. Perhaps you could answer that question for us. What kind of structures do you have in your community?
Thank you very much once again. Structure building also a structure that was community-based. In fact, see, community-based, not was, because we are still existing. It's just a question here, we are not getting a necessary support from the law, the authorities, the relevant stakeholders, settlement and detailing into it. So I think Mr. Chola was correct to say, Hunal point here that Mr. Mavosa has just alluded to here now to say, but they must move. I think we say, but when Asalosa, where majority of them are Batwakantle, Habatibili, Lili channel, I mean, Konatal Kishini. Not that Harbatli Batuba, Batwankantle, Batosabet Kishini. Okay. Harba Batlibana because of the attitude towards into the crime, into lands crime caralcation. But not all of them, to be honest. There are few of them occupied till born.
Let's talk about the community. I'm still with you, Mr. Mutang. There's issues of police vehicles being burnt by community members, and once again, never to downplay the frustration that community members go through when they have been hurt by crime and within their families, and they feel that not enough is being done. What is your take on vigilantism within this community when members take the law into their own hands?
Thank you very much. Hardumelani le horis chaba sinkele malao matsohong, but haritata benya community Intabazwe. Or this community in early history, young Yahore. There is a problem between the Maponisa, Libat, when it comes to Intabazwe. One key issue Yahore, Hahuna, a communication that Mr. Ndaba was talking about. That's point number 1. 2, Hukile Habanali, another mob justice, I think it's 8, if not 10 years ago, where another guy, I think a guy of 20-something years, Ula Abulawa Kibatu. That was an issue involving a teenager. In that case, who that mob, Maponisa Island Ayamon, they shot and Babulaya, another Ntome Omung and Abar, they were hospitalized. And wrong people are in jail as Ribua. We are saying wrong because Batuba Nebana Fita, when the incident yet hits. But those people are serving in the jail terms. So the issue of communication between Maponisa and Chaba is very important who this community. I can say this community is a wounded community when it comes to issue of Maponisa.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for those details. Mr. Mitsing, you've been listening for quite a while now, and I've given you a breather. What solutions would you come up with? I know you are from the Democratic Alliance, you work with other members of different political parties, but at the end of the day, I'm sure the goal is one, and that is to bring harmony within your communities. What is your solution to all this that we've been talking about?
Yeah, Audrey. Eric tla pele ke ho wena ke na hara issue tse ka reng tse so tsa crime. Re tshwanetse re isolate the political parties. Re se ba bua ka any political party. Re bua ka community as a whole. Because if ke le mona le nna ke motswadi le nna I'm a parent and then ke part of community le nna. So if re tlo bua ka di political parties it tlo ba le problem e nngwe itse. But now coming to the point ya hore na ke solution e ka katlang ka yona. Hona le point tse pedi tse bue before they are breaking. That twala wala bua ka point ya hore they have used a very good initiative e resala rono e supportwe hore ba patrola ka allegation. That was a very good initiative. If finally CPF ka haromos and early dysfunctional, it means tshwanetse be re tlweletse ra shabana le ena e leng hore ya sebetsa and e tswela molemo. Obviously o le kile hore a point out the point tse leng hore no ba di sebeditse and ba gona hore ba tswelle ho tsona. We should have supported that in the first place. Two, hona le issue la ya bua ke ntate while he was sitting there to say all the gates of the police stations, they are actually locked, literally locked throughout the day. So we need to sit down as a community, including the police officers, to say, guys, na le problem e leng teng ka hare allocation la rona. Re tshwanetse re etse jwang gore re bone gore this crime is like ka allocation ya stopa. Crime being go tshwatla mamatlong go nka thepa gore ipua batswadi le bana ba rona le ena ya gore ba banyane ka tsena le ba hlokala ba bolauwa. Those things if e le gore go la ba le what is it a meeting like this mo go dutse teng community le sepolesa ngabe lo re ha rena maemo a re le ka rata today. So my solution is going forward we need to have more of this. We need to talk to the police officers. We need to talk to the community. And then we need to revive the spirit of those who are patrolling around at the location to say, guys, you have our support. We need to end this crime. This is not right because it affects everybody. It affects us. And talk to some of it again, even if crime is even if the patrol do the station, even a victim, how to like never. If we are stationing on a TV A1, if you probably get more than that, we will put on a third guy. So the tape about to a station, came out a station, do see from location, do see a station. So now upon Salona and unless what I've been yet tape allocation has a this stationing. We need to look into that as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. You know, you don't need to wait for us, the media, to come so you can have this discussion and talks. Yes. Because when we come, it means the situation has deteriorated to a very desperate situation, which is very unfortunate. I want to come back to you, Mr. Motang. What is the difference between community policing forums and vigilantes? Because I understand there's also an issue of people, there's a culture of silence, you know, people not feeling confident enough to come forward with evidence when there's a crime that has been committed in the community with vigilantes saying, look, we're going to deal with this. You know, you don't need to go to the police. We'll take the law into our own hands. I'm not trying to look down upon what you do or to offend you in any way, but there has to be a difference there. And what is it? Could you please explain that?
Difference between the two. The issue with the mob is not hurry. It's not to kill. It's not to kill. Our initiative to protect the community. That's why the difference between the two Rona Rehona or Rinke TV and Tatema Vuso Ihutuing. Rehutan Tatema Vuso than it's a milo spend and a quitile mall. So with Mamto and Rehona or Rekena Kanakoring, recomitile most chabbing or Reatawahel. Such that even the business people Bahona or Barrekelebody Tosh in what view. But with CPF, Bakena, how Batamaponi, Sakapa, Huyaka program yabon. So the difference was born. I be again all the time. Because for you who are crime, it must be between Maponisa and Sharp.
Thank you for that. I would like to go to the audience, then I'll come back to you, Mr. Mthing. Anyone would like to? Yes. Ooh, we've got a female voice right at the back, finally.
N7 Harrismith. o tlo go thusa ka dintho tse ngata re a qala thola ntho e tshwanang le e lentse le entse ka jana ene re a leboha haholo ke e tlo go thusa ka ntho tse ngata ke a utlwa le a bua bontate ka crime ka batho ba bulawang but what about these people ba buelang bana o thole go motho o rekisetsa ngwana ntho e tlo mmolayang ntho ba itsubang bana ba gona ho bohloko ho rona se ka re le batswadi ha go ya thola sheba ngwana ka o qetile sekolo o pasetse sekolo pate ntho a ntse a yeja motho a ntse a rekisa ntho yena ho reng ho yena ska lena e le motswadi ana le motswadi kore ana le ngwana lena le ntho kore le yona tlamele e solve ka tsela e nngwe ka re tlamele re solve re kopane re le community bana ba re ba thusa ha jwang.
You know, mothers, it's in their nature to be nurturers, and they're very protective of their children. And this mother here speaks of helping the children from when, you know, from at home to make sure that they're not involved in issues to do with drugs, as we do know that you really cannot separate the two when it comes to drugs and criminality.
The problem that we have in this community where now, Siswam, is that Inja Yetu is less interested in gatherings like this, and they don't want to involve themselves in initiatives like this.
Thank you so much for that. Do we have more voices from the floor before we come back to the panel for closing remarks?
Sanbonan, ngibonga ithuba leli ngitholayo. Khanathi CPF sa patrol. Njengoba akhuluma ubaba Mahlubi la. Sikeje yibham nathi imese kintho tse ngata ne. Rena le case tse ngata le rona. Khale re difumana di stolen goods mara ha ba soka ba gutla ka rona ba bua nix le rona re bitswa ka mabitso ha re tsamaya le rona ha re free mara ha re tsotelwe re a leka le rona re tsetsa batswadi ba rona akulale ka mnandi uthulele kakho uza kwamakhelwane khala igaba ulala kanjani thina singabafazi naba bomama siya patrol ebusuku sisizwa ibona babuthwala ngingena kuya babuthwala futhi nami benginaso isifiso ngathi ngashintshwa amaphoyisa maponisa wamose baxwayelana libona abafihla uyasho ukuthi awuwe futhi ekseni mawuvuka lo muntu bekakakho uyandlula uzuya kubingelela sure ngesikhathi leso bekangene kakho ukuphule ibhadla waphula umnyango wangena kwakho wayenza yonke into ayithandayo akaboshwa akayenzwa lutho rona rile ga kwallwa salala ejele siqekezelwe abantu kade basiqekezele balala ngaphandle sashawa thina eduze kwamaphoyisa amaphoyisa asibhekile masaqala ukuvula lento le siyazilwela singabafazi siyawumela imese ebusuku asilali thina sivuka futhi ekseni sihambe siye emsebenzini.
Very powerful, sends shivers down my spine when you have women that are not sleeping at night because they're worried for their parents, they're worried for their children's safety. Then you know there's something wrong that is happening in the community that needs to be addressed immediately. You know, the people in the community that are supposed to be protected are the ones that are staying up at night to make sure they do the protecting.
Ngiyabonga mphakathi. Bengicela ukubuza kubaba uphoyisa ukuthi ngikwenza kanjani ukuthi ngisizakale akangenzele ngafelwa mfowethu 2005 sabhalisa icase ephoyiseni iCID namhlanje alisasikhulumisi alisezi nakithi ekugcineni sithe uma sithatha izinyathelo esithize sikhuluma nelawyer ilawyer yathi icase iphelile manje bengicela kuwe baba ukuthi ngenze kanjani kusuka manje futhi ngizokwazi kanjani ukuthi ngabe lesi sicelo sami usithathe serious na. Ngiyabonga.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear about your story. I think this is the communication we keep talking about. You know, I think sometimes some of these jobs really should be a calling. You know, if you're a policeman, I think it goes beyond it just being a job. But having that compassion to be able to still go back to the community members and communicate with them such cases. Mr. Startwala, can we hear from you final remarks, then I'll come back to the panel.
Brigadier, I want to say to you, with the people I'm leading, we are not ready to be arrested if we get stolen goods where we have called the police, they don't pitch up. Please, we are not ready to be arrested and will never be ready to be arrested. If we call the police, we end up going on our own and we get the stolen goods and someone has been beaten up or something. We are not ready. Please, Could you please note that? Again, siyaqela re kopa state moshari se khutle mo. You'll find as a mob justice. Umuntu file ulelela. Uzolala lapho for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. Abantu bazobuya bajike bamshise futhi. I-state moshari siseqwaqwa sekho la. Umuntu yakumele bamfonele ukuphi melabuyi. Sicela i-state moshari sibuye la. Umndeni uhleli nomuntu ulele lapho. Please. That's why uqedelela uthola umuntu ashile. Aluka alindile lapho. Please riyakopa. Yawuqedela. Could you please review all the cases? Rekopa ubitswe meeting batho kaofela bana le di case. Ha di khutlele back to the role di ke di review.
Thank you so much, Mr. Twala. I believe some of the issues you will ventilate after the show with the meeting you've requested. So there you have it, word coming from the members of the community. Very grateful that they got this opportunity to address some of not only the community leaders, which I understand are already in touch with the community, but people that they seem to believe they're out of reach, you know, when it comes to the leadership of the South African Police Service, members from the municipality that really should be accountable to them. They've asked for awareness programs, they've asked for social activities so they can get to know each other, build that trust again, so they can make this community better. I'm going to get closing remarks from my panel, and I'm going to ask them to give us a plan of action going forward. I'll start with you, Mr. Mavuso. What you think needs to happen, what you can commit to from the department that you're representing today.
I think it's proper that I've already come up with a plan where I'll be engaging the MMC of Sploom, Human Settlement. It is proper that, especially in the squatter camps or in the areas where that we find that the squatter camps, it's better that we come up with a plan that we make sure that there are streets in the, then next door, I must know my next door neighbor. If Ntatemu Tau moves, Mr. Mavuso must be able to indicate to the ward committee or to the municipality that Mr. Mutaung has moved. Okay. Because both of the things that we have discovered as while I was doing my research, most of the people in the squatter camps, they don't know each other.
Yeah, so there must be that visibility.
Yeah, there must be that. If
the community needs to know each other very well. To see if someone moves, there's a new person. Who are you? What do you do?
Where do you come from? I've already done my research. I find that most of the people, they don't know the next door neighbor. So as a municipality, we are coming with that plan that at least when someone moves, no one should occupy the space until Mr. Mutaung say, Mr. Mavuso have moved on that area, but we have seen someone. Could you go and ask where that person comes from?
Hashtag know your neighbor, Mr. Mavuso. In the interest of time, my director is telling me we need to wrap it up very quickly, but I don't know if there's anything else you want to say quickly.
In fact, I just want to thank this program. But as Mr. Twala has just indicated the issue, I think it's proper that we need to further our engagement. We as a municipality and the Department of SAPS, have I already indicated that we are not a federal state, we are a unitary state. We are working together as government. So it's proper that we meet in the department of the municipality. The executive mayor have already established a department of crime prevention. Public safety, which is led by MMC in Tinya. I think we'll try to combine all these things, sit down together with SAPS, sit down with the community, and we'll reach the solution. Yes. At the end of the day, the solution will reach it.
The solution comes from the community. That's why they need to be
No one will assist us
it's very
with
important.
the solution.
Yes.
It's us that we need to come up with the solution.
These meetings are important, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Mavuso. I appreciate it.
My closing remarks are safety as part of the team promised us the protective clothes, promised us to buy onto the tosh because Renal team it's among fats. But what the next thing reforming the counter structure to crime. So municipality is not playing his part. Maspala, please play your part, be supportive. Maponis retain. But the most people re ba tshabang for now ke maponisa, because not every police, but ke maponisa. There are policemen in they were benefiting from the crime activities. Those people ke bona ba ka re bolaya bosigo.
I think a very interesting point that you spoke of, the issue of informal settlements. I think we talk of a society that is in disequilibrium. You know, the issue of poverty also is a factor when it comes to crime, and that goes back to the politicians that we vote to into power. That's where you come in, Mr. Mitsing, as the Democratic Alliance, whether you're from the ANC. Political parties are important, you know, when it comes to policies that are put into place to make sure that you improve the community that you govern in, you know, that the youth have opportunities so that they're not on the streets, so they're not smoking yalbe and being criminals. What is your plan of action going forward as a PR councillor?
Going back to the point of vigilantism, you will find that it happens, more especially it is actually pushed by the anger. Because if you have that kind of a situation, you will find that someone was actually upset and he reacted on those emotions. And in that sense, even if we can have our patrolling, but in that situation, they will never be there to actually cool down the situation if someone is angry because of what happened in the case of this little young girl. People will actually act like that, but we are not condoning that. Coming from the political side now, we still have to sit down with the office of the mayor to say, for us to get rid of the crime that is happening around our location, it's only, it is not only by saying, okay guys, let us actually patrol and take these guys, put them into a jail. We need to have a programs where we are saying, guys, what can we do as the community to keep these young boys busy? What can we do to actually bring some factories around here so that people can actually get work and then work for themselves? Because if people are, we have more than 100 people sitting around the location not working, that can actually increase the stress of the crime inside the location. So we need to have all those resources. We need to have all those engagement to say, okay, what can we do more?
Brigadier Motlare, it appears the rot is deep. Unfortunately, we have to call it what it is. Coming from the police department, we've heard very disturbing stories. I know you have a plan of action. I just want you to respond to my brother here who had some concerns. As community patrollers, do you have any responsibility towards them to make sure that they are safe? I know that all of them are volunteers. They're not exactly employed by the South African Police Service. Also, what rights do people have within their homes when someone breaks in? Okay. What amount of force can they exert that does not get them into trouble to make sure they keep their families safe when someone comes to intrude within their privacy?
Okay. Okay, ma'am, thanks very much. Let me start with the first one, the safety of the community patrollers. Just to deal with that situation, the instruction from us is that community patrollers must work together with the police. In other words, where the community patrollers are deployed, there must be a police officer, or there must be police officers. So let's go back to the structuring of the community patrollers. We love community patrollers. We want them to be there. That is why it will be very critical that they must work with the police, so that in a situation they find themselves in unfortunate situation, the police are there. 2, finding somebody in my house, etc. Do I have the right to arrest? Yes, in South Africa, citizen arrest is recognized by the law. Use of force? Yes. Use of force is allowed appropriately. Don't become an attacker. In other words, your use of force must be proportionate to the situation. If I want to arrest somebody else and I use force, remember, just holding somebody, it is a use of force. Confining somebody, if it's my intention, hold somebody, confine somebody, hand him to the police. Don't attack, don't assault him.
So what if someone is holding a weapon, Brigadier?
Yes,
if they have a gun, if
exactly.
they have a knife, what?
Somebody's
how do you
having a
restrain
gun,
them?
somebody's having a gun. That is why I said, use the force which is proportionate to protect yourself, but not to become an attacker. If you have already arrested this particular person, why do you continue assaulting him? That is what I'm saying. The awareness campaigns, I think the speaker spoke about the awareness campaign. We must have them. I don't know why are we not having them. So we are going to have awareness campaigns with our communities. And I know the mayor is also having the budget to that effect on IDP issues. Yes. We want our youth to be there. So I think here we've got somebody who can help us with these things. And why are we not using the experience of this particular member of the community to come and help us? We love that one. Maybe as a closing shot, the one that my grandmother spoke about, and I felt it's paining me. Mama, I'm going to help you. I'm going to find out what happened with this case. I will have to get your case number, and even if the case is filed, I will have to find that case and see what is happening in the case. What happened, whether the investigation has been conducted correctly or not. And we will now and then give you the feedback. As a parting shot, I want to congratulate our members of the community who took the initiatives to say we cannot fold our arms when things are going wrong. Our mothers, our children are taking their houses, and they decided to say we will take the initiative of doing something. We are going to support you. I'm not going to request any support. We are definitely going to support you, because this is a good program that we should be fighting together, fighting crime together. Lastly, we will make sure that the very same team that is fighting, and I'm of the opinion they are fighting this crime from certain sectors. That suggests the sector policing is not effectively done. We are going to improve that particular environment of sector policy. That will assist us to make sure that our members who are fighting this crime will be fighting with us. It's very easy. People must be deployed according to the sectors, working with the community on the ground. We can't work alone. We cannot work in isolation. The last point is, there's no way, and there's no way I personally will allow a situation whereby we cannot mobilize our communities to fight crime. We will mobilize them to fight crime so that they can work together with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brigadier. I get the feeling that your parting shot has instilled some kind of confidence in the community members, but I think at the end of the day it comes to action, and we as People's Imbizo, this is actually not our first time in this municipality. We were here before dealing with issues of water. We will always come back and hold people to account, make sure that the promises that have been made to community members are followed through, and we will do the same in this particular case. We'll be back. My panel, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your stories with us. We do not take it for granted you opening up your hostile program, and we do hope that you get the respect and dignity that you deserve as community members and of course as citizens of this country. And you're at home for watching the program. Thank you so very much, and for watching People's Imbizo for the year of 2017. This is our final episode for this year, and would like to wish all our viewers a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from myself, Audrey Shimanda, and the crew behind the scenes, that is Lavin. We also have Zuki and a whole crew that are really wishing you all the best, that are very instrumental in getting this show together, as we make sure that people from the grassroots levels speak their minds and attention is brought to matters that really matter to them. Goodbye.